Have you ever caught yourself wondering why he's so warm and close one day, but then distant the next? Or maybe he remembers small things you told him, yet still keeps his feelings hidden? You're not imagining it. There's actually a reason behind this behavior, and it's much more about psychology than you might think. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a deep look into the mind games men often play when they're secretly falling hard for you. But here's the twist. It's not about manipulation. It's not about being childish. It's about how the male mind works. When a man truly likes a woman, he might not show it the way we usually expect. Instead of telling her how he feels directly, he might start acting differently, staying cool, or even pulling away just to see how she reacts. It sounds confusing, but often it means he's overwhelmed emotionally and is trying to protect his pride while still staying connected. Here's the thing. Men fall in love in a different way. They don't always show emotion first. They show interest through their actions, through how they observe, and through a lot of thinking going on inside. What may seem like a confusing game is really a blend of curiosity, caution, and strong attraction. In this video, we'll look at 6 deep psychological behaviors that men often show, usually without even being aware of it, when they're seriously into you. These aren't just the regular signs you hear about all the time. These are real behaviors rooted in how emotions and attraction really work. So if you're tired of guessing, overthinking, and trying to figure out why he's acting so strangely, this could bring you the clarity you've been waiting for. Let's uncover the truth about male psychology and how it shows up when he's truly hooked. You've probably heard of something called mirroring when it comes to body language. But what if I told you that when a man is truly into you, he mirrors much more than just how you move? This first behavior is known as the mirror effect, and it goes much deeper than people realize. When a man feels emotionally pulled toward you, his subconscious begins to connect with yours without even meaning to. He may begin to copy your way of speaking, your favorite phrases, your energy, even your texting habits. It's not a trick or something he's planning. It's a natural psychological response tied to emotional bonding and our human need for connection. Mirroring is an old social instinct. It helps us show empathy, build trust, and tell others, I'm like you, you can feel safe around me. And when a man is falling hard, he starts doing it without thinking. If you're expressive and bubbly, he might begin to use more emojis or get playful with how he chats. If you're quiet and thoughtful, he might soften his tone and try to match your vibe. But it doesn't end with how he talks. Pay attention to what he does in group settings. If you cross your arms, does he do it too? If you lean forward while talking, does he lean in as well? These small actions show that his nervous system is syncing with yours. And yes, this happens more when the emotional connection is strong. Here's what makes it even more interesting. Men don't mirror just anyone. They only start doing this when they feel emotionally drawn to someone or feel safe with them. So if you notice him picking up your little habits, using your favorite sayings, or even listening to the music you like, it's not just random. It's his way of showing emotional closeness. He's matching himself to you mentally and emotionally because deep down, he feels like he's already connected to you. There's also another layer that many people miss: emotional mirroring. When you're feeling down, does he suddenly become more serious, even if he doesn't know exactly why? When you're excited, does he seem to pick up your energy too? That's emotional syncing. And it's not something men can fake. Most of them don't even realize they're doing it. Don't confuse mirroring with faking interest. This isn't him trying to be someone else to impress you. True mirroring isn't something you force. It just happens naturally when someone is emotionally in tune with you. It's instinctive and deeply personal. If you see this happening, look for how often it shows up. Anyone can copy someone else for a moment, but a man who's truly interested will keep doing it over time. You'll start to feel like you both understand each other without saying much. You might even finish each other's thoughts, or laugh at the same things, or suddenly want the same food without talking about it. And here's the secret most people don't know. Mirroring is often the very first step toward love. Even before he admits how he feels, his mind and body start shifting to match yours. It's like his heart already knows he wants you, and the rest of him is catching up. So next time you're unsure if he's really into you, don't just focus on his words. Watch how he reflects your actions, your energy, and your mood. If he starts feeling like a more familiar version of you, it might not be your imagination. It could be the mirror effect, showing just how emotionally connected he is to you. And once you learn to spot this, you'll see it everywhere. One of the most confusing behaviors men show when they're falling for someone is something I call selective vulnerability. It doesn't mean he tells you everything about his life all at once or gets super emotional like in movies. It's actually much quieter and much more revealing. When a man is seriously into you, he won't just hand over his heart. Instead, he gives small pieces of himself carefully and slowly, only when he feels like it's emotionally. He might tell you something personal from his past, something that affected him deeply, or a fear he usually hides. This isn't him oversharing. It's done with a purpose. These small moments are his way of testing the emotional waters. He wants to see how you react. And if you respond with care and understanding, he starts to let you in more and more. What makes this so important is that men are often taught to hide their deeper feelings. Society tells them to be strong, in control, always sure of themselves. So when a man shows you a vulnerable side, it's not weakness. It's actually a strong sign that he respects you, trusts you, and wants something more than just surface-level attention. You'll see this in little ways. He might mention a time he felt unsure of himself or open up about how a family issue affected him. He might share something that made him feel powerless. These moments are not for sympathy. He's not looking for pity. He's testing the emotional connection. He wants to know, do you accept this part of him? Do you understand it? Selective vulnerability also means he shows a different side of himself just around you. Maybe he's funny and confident around others, but becomes softer, more thoughtful when he's alone with you. That quiet version of him, the one who talks about dreams, doubts, and what he wishes for, that's his real self. And while he might not say, I love you directly, the fact that he's letting you see his true side is his way of expressing love. This isn't something men plan ahead. It's not a trick. It's something that happens naturally when they start developing real feelings. Instead of saying how they feel, they open up little by little to see if you're the kind of person they can build something real with. If you respond well, he'll share more. If not, he might shut down and never go there again. That's why selective vulnerability is rare. Men don't show this side to just anyone. If you ever hear him say, I've never told anyone this before, or I don't usually talk about this stuff, take notice. That's not small talk. That's a big emotional shift happening in real time. It means you're becoming someone very important to him. So if he starts trusting you with the parts of himself that he normally hides, don't take it lightly. It means emotional closeness is forming. It's his way of letting you in without saying the words. Because for most men, their actions will always speak louder than their words. And letting you see his unguarded self, that's one of the most powerful signs of all. Have you ever casually mentioned something, maybe a memory from when you were a kid, your favorite coffee, or a book you really enjoy, and then, weeks later, he brings it up again like it just happened? That's not just coincidence. That's focused attention. One of the clearest psychological signs that a man is really into you is that his brain starts to zero in on everything about you. He begins to collect little facts and details. Not just the obvious ones, but the small, often unnoticed ones. How you like your food, a name your best friend calls you, or how your mood changes when things get stressful. It's not about having a perfect memory. It's that you've become important to him, so everything about you stays with him. Remembers these little things because he's emotionally connected. This kind of attention is thoughtful because he uses it to get closer to you. He might bring up something personal when you least expect it, not to earn points, but because he understands it makes you feel noticed. He wants you to realize he's paying close attention, not just hearing your words, but truly listening. And this can show up in ways that catch you off guard. Maybe you once mentioned that you love sunflowers, and a few weeks later he sends you a sunflower emoji in a casual conversation. Or perhaps you told him Sundays make you feel uneasy, and now he checks on you every Sunday just to ask how you're feeling. These aren't huge romantic moves. They're quiet, thoughtful gestures that show how emotionally present he is with you. And this is what makes it so special. Most people don't catch the little things. Most forget the details. But when a man is drawn to you on a deep level, your voice becomes louder in his mind. He starts seeing things through your eyes. If he walks by your favorite place to eat, he thinks of you. If he hears a song you love, he smiles. Without trying, you become part of how he experiences the world. This kind of attention also builds trust. When he remembers and responds to the small things you've shared, he's showing that your words matter to him, that what you say stays with him. This builds emotional comfort because you begin to feel understood. You see that he's not distracted or looking for something shallow. He's showing up fully and honestly. In a world full of constant distractions where people often half listen and forget soon after, this kind of attentiveness is both rare and meaningful. When a man truly cares, he wants to be different. He wants you to see that he's not like the rest, that he's noticing the real you, not just what's on the surface. And sometimes, his timing is everything. He might not bring up something right away. Instead, he tucks it away and brings it back when it really matters. Maybe on a tough day, he reminds you of something you once said that helped you feel confident. Or when you're questioning yourself, he points out a success you forgot about. That's not just thoughtfulness. That's emotional awareness. That's love with purpose. So if it ever feels like he remembers things about you that even your closest friends don't, take it as a clue. A man with casual interest might notice your looks, but a man who feels something deeper will remember your stories, your battles, your strengths, and show them back to you in ways that make you feel seen. That's what makes his attention powerful. And it's not a trick or a tactic. It's a sign of how deeply you've already touched his heart. You can understand a lot more about what a man really feels by watching what he does, instead of focusing only on what he says. Words can be filtered or planned, but body language, it's honest, it's raw. It often speaks before his brain does. When a man is truly into you, his body starts reacting in ways he may not even notice. One of the first things to watch is how he physically positions himself. When you're in the room, he'll almost always be facing your direction, even if he's in the middle of a conversation with someone else. His feet might turn toward you, his upper body might lean slightly in your direction. This happens because the body tends to point toward what it wants or feels emotionally tied to. It's not forced, it's automatic. And if he feels that draw toward you, he likely doesn't even know he's doing it. Another clear sign is how close he lets himself get to you. Men who feel neutral tend to keep a respectful distance, but if a man feels connected, he slowly starts closing that gap. He'll stand just a little closer than needed, lean toward you when you speak, or sit beside you even when other spots are available. He might not touch you immediately, but his comfort with being near you says a lot. That closeness, even without words, speaks of attraction. You may also see him adjust his physical behavior around you. He might sit up straighter, fix his shirt, or run a hand through his hair. These are small signs of nervous excitement, natural grooming moves that happen when someone wants to make a good impression. His body is trying to look better for you, often without him even realizing it. And then there's eye contact. This one matters a lot. When a man really likes you, his eyes will search for yours again and again, not only during quiet moments. You'll catch him glancing your way when you're not watching, holding your eyes during a conversation, or even letting his eyes drift to your mouth as you speak. These aren't accidents. They show interest, curiosity, and a strong desire to connect. And if he softens or smiles when your eyes meet, that's emotional truth peeking out. Not all body language is obvious. Sometimes the signs are soft and quiet, like when he copies how you move, taking a sip when you do, adjusting his posture to match yours, or changing position to match your rhythm. It's not copying, it's something deeper. His system is syncing up with yours, and it often happens without his awareness. Look at his hands too. Are they steady or restless? A man who's emotionally stirred might fiddle with his jewelry, tap his fingers, or rub his neck. These aren't signs of discomfort, they show inattention, the kind that comes with attraction. But maybe the truest giveaway of all is his smile. Not the polite one, not the friendly one, the smile that just appears without warning, the one that shows up when you laugh or when you walk into the room. It might be brief, he might try to hide it, but if you catch it, know it's real. That's when his heart reacts before his thoughts catch up. So next time you're with him, don't just listen, watch. His body will often say the things he's not yet ready to speak, and if you pay attention, you'll begin to see all the ways his feelings are showing up without words. His mouth might stay quiet, but his body, it speaks honesty. One of the strongest, most unnoticed signs that a man is truly falling for you is when he starts quietly testing things. Not to play games, but to figure out one important thing. Is this emotionally safe? He's not checking your loyalty or trying to stir drama. It's much deeper than that. When a man starts feeling emotionally drawn to you, he wonders, can I really be myself around her? Can I trust her with parts of me I usually keep hidden? At first, this might seem confusing. He might joke about something slightly personal just to see how you respond. He may say something that feels a bit more honest or raw than usual, then carefully watch your reaction. Or he could share an opinion that's not popular, or speak about something he's unsure about, not to shock you, but to quietly ask, will you accept this side of me too? That's where many women start to misunderstand. If he starts acting more quiet, distant, or even a bit irritable, it's easy to think he's pulling away. But often, what's really happening is he's doing a soft check. How will you respond when he's not being charming or trying to impress? Emotional safety is everything to a man who's serious. Vulnerability doesn't come easy. It goes against what many men are taught to be strong, in control, and self-sufficient. So when he starts opening up even a little, when he shows you even a sliver of his emotional side, he's not doing it lightly. He's watching closely. He's feeling it out. Not to control or test you unfairly, but to protect himself. He might bring up something that hurt him in the past, not to gain pity, but to see if you'll treat him differently. He's asking, in his own way, can I trust you with this pain? And these moments are easy to miss. You may not even realize what's happening in the moment, but make no mistake, if he's emotionally invested, he's quietly looking for proof that you're a safe place for his heart. Another big sign is when he allows you to see feelings he normally keeps private, like frustration, sadness, or even moments of doubt, emotions he might not show to his friends or co-workers. If he's showing those sides to you, that means you touch something deep, and how you respond in those moments matters more than you might realize. If you meet him with kindness instead of judgment, you earn more than his admiration. You earn his trust. This emotional checking shows up in how he reacts to your limits too. He might gently test your boundaries, not to be rude, but to see if you stand firm. Why? Because a man who's serious about building something lasting wants to know if you're strong enough to hold space for yourself and for both of you. He's asking, without saying it, can you protect yourself, and in doing so, protect what we're trying to build together? It might seem backward, but pushing a little against your boundaries is often his way of checking if you're emotionally reliable. Not a trick, not a game, just a quiet, deep way of finding out if there's real connection. You respond to his little test with sincerity, patience, and kindness, and he feels something shift inside him. That shift is what tells him, yes, this is someone I can be myself with. This is someone I can trust. So if you ever notice him opening up, then slightly pulling away, then revealing another side of himself, it's not confusion or mixed signals. It's a sign he's trying to feel secure with you. And when a man discovers emotional safety in a woman, that's when he truly begins to fall in love, because love isn't only about physical attraction, it's about feeling secure. And that kind of trust always begins with emotional safety. When a man is genuinely into you, there's something more powerful than grand gestures or romantic words. And that's his consistency over time. It's easy for someone to show up strong in the beginning. Many people can be sweet and attentive for a few weeks, maybe even a month. But what reveals a man's true intentions, what shows how much he really feels, is whether he keeps showing up when that initial spark starts to settle. Real consistency is like a quiet love language. It's how a man proves that his emotions for you aren't just temporary feelings. They come from a much deeper place. He doesn't only check in when it suits him. He doesn't appear only when he's bored. He shows up because he's trying to build something meaningful. His words match his behavior. And more importantly, his actions are consistent, not all over the place. You'll see it in the details. He keeps his word, even with the little things. If he says he'll message you, he does. If he says he'll show up, he's there. You don't have to run after him, remind him, or try to guess what he means, because his steady actions say it all. That's how a man behaves when he's emotionally committed. He wants to be someone you can trust, not just someone who brings excitement for a short time. What's interesting is that consistency isn't always loud or showy. Sometimes it's as simple as a good morning message. Sometimes it's remembering to ask how your tough day went. It's about being present when things are tough, not just when everything is smooth. It's the peace of knowing he's still there, even when life is complicated, plans change, or emotions run high. That's when his genuine care shines, not in the loud, dramatic moments, but in the quiet, steady ones. Consistency also means he's emotionally available. He's not acting distant one day and closed the next. If something's bothering him, he brings it up. If something's off with you, he notices. That kind of emotional steadiness builds solid trust. And trust is the root of real closeness. Because no matter how strong the attraction is, if the energy keeps shifting, you'll always feel unsure about where you stand. But when a man is truly into you, you won't have to guess. He'll keep showing you over and over again. What makes consistency so powerful is that it creates a sense of emotional safety. And when a woman feels safe in that way, she opens up. She feels okay to be herself. That's exactly what a man who's in love wants. Not just your attention, but your truth. That's why men who are serious don't just want to impress you once. They want to prove themselves through time, through regular effort, until you truly believe they mean what they say. And let's be honest, anyone can care for you when you're at your best. But the man who stands by you during your toughest moments, that's the one who truly cares. That's the man who isn't chasing a dream, he's building something real. So if you're seeing someone and you're unsure about how he feels, stop paying attention to how charming he was in the beginning. Look at how steadily he moves with you as the days pass. Because love that's real doesn't burn fast and disappear. It grows slowly, thoughtfully, and with intention. That's the kind of love you can trust. Now that we've gone over these subtle but meaningful ways men show deep feelings when they're really into someone, here's something important to hold on to. Real connection isn't about trying to figure out complicated signals. It's about noticing the patterns that reveal true emotional interest. When a man genuinely likes you, his actions won't just stay on the surface. They'll be reflected in his behavior, his body language, his effort, his willingness to be emotionally open, and most of all, his steady consistency over time. These signs aren't tricks. They're not part of some dating game. They're natural responses. Little signs that come straight from the heart without him even realizing. And once you learn to spot them, you'll begin to see the difference between someone who's casually interested and someone who's genuinely drawn to you. The truth is, when a man begins to fall deeply, he expresses it in ways he doesn't even try to control. Through his attention, through being emotionally open, through showing up, and through genuine care. And that's what makes these signs powerful. They come from real emotion, not ego. Here's what to do next. Take a moment and reflect on the connection you're experiencing right now. Is he mirroring your energy in quiet ways, reflecting your mood, picking up on your habits? Has he opened up at unexpected times? Does he remember what matters to you, not just what matters to him? Do you see changes in his posture when he's with you, like softening around you or leaning in without realizing it? Has he tested your emotional safety, and how did you react? And most of all, has he stayed consistent, not just at the beginning, but over time? If you're nodding and recognizing those signs, then you might be part of something truly meaningful. And that's something to appreciate. But if you're not, if you often feel unsure, confused, or like you're always trying to figure out where he stands, don't ignore that. Because when a man is genuinely serious about you, it won't feel like a puzzle. You'll feel seen. You'll feel secure. You'll feel chosen. Another step you can take is to raise the standard for what you accept as a real connection. It's easy to settle for attention that fades in and out, for sweet words without consistent actions, or for fun moments that don't last. But trust me, there is a better kind of love out there. The kind that feels calm, intentional, and respectful. That kind of love might not always start with loud sparks, but it stays. And that's where true connection grows. Start noticing rather than chasing. When you give yourself space to observe how someone truly shows up, the truth becomes clearer, faster than any guessing game ever could. Pay attention to your body and your instincts. Do you feel relaxed when you're with him? Do you feel emotionally comfortable? Do you feel uplifted or drained after time with him? The answers to these questions say more than any words ever could. And finally, if this message helped you realize something new or gave you clarity on what you deserve, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Save it. Watch it again if you need to. Let it be your reminder that the love you're hoping for isn't impossible, but it does require you to be clear. And now you have the tools to tell the difference between someone who's just interested and someone who's truly invested. Because the right man won't just impress you with words. He'll earn your heart with his consistent presence, his honesty, and the quiet way he keeps choosing you day after day. And that's where real, lasting love begins.